When I first heard about George Floyd, I was shocked and upset and angry. It made me pause and really think about what role do I play as a clinician leader here at Hennepin in the events that led up to this happening. Then comes the introspection to what role do we play going forward in interacting with our community in a way that allows us to prevent this from happening again.
So from community, I hear we must do better. I hear we're all in this. Nobody gets a pass. There is joint accountabilities. I think what I also hear is a call to stand against police brutality, but I would challenge us to take that a step further. I don't think it's a call just to stand against police brutality. We in healthcare have to own what healthcare needs to own. There is racism in every system, whether you are in our police departments, whether you're in our education systems, whether you're in healthcare.
There are dual systems. There are systems for white, for healthcare, for policing, for justice, for banking. And then there are systems for people of color. We have a dual system at Hennepin Healthcare, and it is not because we're bad people. It is not because we're subversive or attempting to harm. It exists naturally because it exists everywhere.
The history of the medical community interacting with people of color is a difficult one, and that's an understatement. And this dates back from centuries ago up until modern times. We're not comfortable with that. We have a lot of opportunity for improvement in understanding not just the egregious examples of this, but also the more subtle examples that it can be just as damaging, if not more damaging, when they're not identified, evaluated, and improved upon.
It's really easy to take a stand in the short term. It's much harder but imperative that we take a stand in the long term, that we stand and commit to equity and justice as healthcare providers for the longer term. And I would use a couple of examples for that. I think in the short term, we had the damage to our own properties in the civil unrest. We lost our East Lake Clinic. We had damage to our pharmacy facilities at Whittier and at North Loop. But just even using the opportunity at East Lake to commit to community that we will return. We're not going away. We are here because of community. We're here to serve community, and our commitment remains. But it's also an opportunity to use that trauma lens to rebuild what we all hope for healthcare of the future, and to do that in co-design with community. So how do we ensure that community knows we see you, we hear you, and we want to partner together with you on healing, and let's design our healthcare system for the future. I think Hennepin Healthcare is uniquely positioned to absolutely transform how healthcare is provided and to root out the racism within our own walls. We owe it to community to do that, not in the short term, but in the long term.
We know that in the past we haven't done as good of a job as we could have there, and it's really important to me as the Chief Medical Officer here that success in a measure means success for all. And so that's really important as we move forward to be able to have that success aligned with every single person that walks through the door here, not just certain populations.
If we're going to be a different organization, we have to dismantle the dual system now. It's not gradualism. You do it now, because if you do take a gradual approach, then you have to decide how much racism, how much discrimination is acceptable on a day-to-day basis inside of Hennepin Healthcare System. The answer should be zero.
Our walls should look like our community. Community should see themselves within our walls when they enter. They should see a responsive system that really is investing in their own health and wellness and is walking this journey alongside them to optimize the health of the community. That's what I hope people see and feel when they enter our walls.